Hey everybody, this is Jim with Harvest Harmonics. Welcome to Innovations in Agriculture. And when you think of innovation, when you think of technology, when you think of the future, a lot of times we think of electronic devices, right? You think of computers, you think of cell phones, you think of things that run on electricity, right? And of course, that's sort of the way a lot of modernization has gone, right? You add machinery, you add electronics, you add sophistication, and these types of things. But when we talk about innovation in agriculture, innovation just means that you're doing something in a new way, or you're doing something in a way that is considered new. That's changing things and making things better. Okay, innovation in farming 70 years ago was the creation of a chemical-based nitrogen product that could actually help us fertilize crops and dramatically increase the yield that we were able to produce, right? So at that time, that was a very big innovation. Back in the 90s, GMOs were a big innovation in agriculture, right? These have nothing to do with electronics and that kind of stuff. Now, when we think about innovation in agriculture, we sometimes think of drones and high-tech irrigation systems and hydrometers and internet, World Wide Web connected smart devices that can measure and monitor things. Of course, these are all, of course, valid innovations, and they do help us monitor and measure things. But today, I want to talk about an innovation that's a little bit of a different concept, and I'm not talking about the Kiminasi plant booster, which is of course, our product, and it is a very innovative product because, real quick, our product actually is utilizing the laws of physics to directly stimulate plants' health and make them more efficient, so that we're able to make plants more efficient and utilize less fertilizer, less chemicals, less pesticides, less water, and less other inputs. And we're able to make that whole farming operation much, much more efficient. And that is, of course, a huge innovation, and yet our technology does not use electronics. It doesn't have to be plugged in. It doesn't have to be hooked up to the internet. It doesn't have all these little fancy electronic gadgets and gadgets and gizmos that you normally think of, right? Our system is a self-contained unit that's as simple as an irrigation device. In fact, I think I might have, look here. Yep, I have an example here. This is actually one of our smaller devices, and we use this for small farmers or nurseries and greenhouses. Usually, we do have, of course, larger devices for big commercial farms, but this would be a small device that a small farmer, let's say less than 5 acres, could use, or maybe a greenhouse guy or nursery guy. And literally, our product is just a simple computer chip. It's like this. Now, this little computer chip, it is a computer chip. It is electronic in the sense that we program these little computer chips with instructions that help plants behave more efficiently. But the entire process doesn't require external power source or external wiring or anything like that. So it's a very unique product in that it is kind of like an electronic device, but it doesn't use electronics. A very high end concept and very detailed concept. And I'm not going to bore my audience here with an introduction to the laws of physics and exactly how the laws of physics apply and how the laws of harmonics, which is a branch of physics, is being used here in our system. But what I want to talk about more today is just more how other types of innovations. Now, one thing that we're seeing in a lot of agricultural operations is what we call precision agriculture. Precision agriculture is sort of a catch-all term that the people use to describe farming operations that are getting more and more precise in terms of how they measure things, how they manage their input system, how they manage the growing season, and how they manage their whole operation. And you can get really detailed and really micromanage a lot of different aspects. And the question I kind of have for most farmers out there is, do you consider yourself a precision agriculture? Do you consider yourself an innovative farmer, somebody who likes to be more precise in the way you measure things, more precise in the way you plan out things in your season, more precise in the way you utilize and apply your inputs and your fertilizers and these types of things? Because precision agriculture is one form of innovation. And I think it's an important piece of innovation because there's a lot of different ways you can sort of fall into that category of precision agriculture. It doesn't mean you have to have drones flying over your fields. It doesn't mean you have to have a watering schedule that's down to the minute. It doesn't mean you have to have liquid fertilizer injectors in your irrigation system. but it does sort of determine how effective you can be. And the whole point of precision agriculture generally is how can I be more effective and more causative and in more control over what happens at the end of the year? Because let's face it, there's a lot of farmers out there who still just they run their tractors over there, they plant their seeds, they apply fertilizer, and they let Mother Nature do its work, and that's essentially the extent of their sophistication. And a lot of those guys still make a decent living. They make a decent amount of money. They have a lot of acres. They pull in a decent income, and they're happy with that. Other farmers that grow the same crops, like the same corn farmers, same crops and everything, are irrigating on a very specific schedule. They're really micromanaging their inputs. They're micromanaging the scheduling system. They have it all detailed out so that they can be in more control over what happens at the end of the year. And a lot of those guys do this work because they want a consistent outcome. They don't want to say, well, that year was a bad year. I only got 150 bushels an acre. This year was a good year. I got 225 bushels an acre. And they hope for the best. Precision agriculture is going to be saying, okay, that was a bad year. That was 210 bushels an acre. This was a good year. It was 240 bushels an acre. But they're always in that small range because they're tightly controlling everything. Now, of course, the Kiminasi plant booster is one such system, and we can use that. Actually, got a call from Art Heineman, one of our old farmers. I'm not going to answer Art right now. Art, if you're watching this, I'm happy to get back with you. But I'll get in touch with you again soon. But definitely want to talk to you, Art. So if you're watching this, stay tuned to your phone. Anyway, so precision agriculture, though, has to do with how you're managing your system. And it's very interesting because we talk to large growers with hundreds of hectares or acres or even thousands of acres, and we ask them how they manage their farm. And it's just that. It's just, well, we plant our seeds at this certain time, we fertilize at this, we run our sprayer with herbicides at this time, we run our fertilizers at this time, and that's about it. And then we just let it go and we hope for a good year. And I'm looking at it going, okay, this is a multi-million-dollar business that you have, and you're putting 80% of it to chance. And so what we've developed for several large farmers, and we're going to be rolling this out to farms around the world, especially the top farming operations. And I'm talking guys like Dole, Generation Farms, Driscoll Berries. I mean, we're going to be rolling this out to some very large companies out there, Wonderful Foods in California. We want to get all the big growers using this type of system, but we've actually detailed out a very detailed prospectus based upon what that farming operation wants to achieve. So, for example, if you're a corn grower and you just want more bushels of corn per acre, we're going to put together a specific system for that you can actually use to measure the things that you're doing and doing it in an easy way so that you can actually determine exactly how much you're getting per acre, exactly how much you're spending, exactly how you can manage those two things for maximum profitability. Of course, using Kiminasi Plant Booster, our product is just going to increase that profitability even more. But we're going to be talking with guys, even wine growers. We talked to a few big wine growers who want to get the same types of programs in with you guys, because I know wine growers aren't interested in quantity. They don't want more yield necessarily, but they want to get the highest quality they can. So there's a different set of metrics and a different set of measurements that we use to develop trials that are actually going to tell that farmer exactly what they're doing right, exactly what they need to improve, and exactly what the results are of those improvements. And of course, again, using our system makes the whole system more efficient. So if you're a farmer out there, and I don't really care what size it is, if you want to get some tips on how to make your farming operation more efficient so that you can actually increase the consistency of your yield. Sometimes it's not just a matter of increasing yield as a raw value, but I want to create a consistent increase in yield, a consistent and sustainable increase in yield, and improving your operation. And I've talked to enough farmers and enough agronomists and enough scientists and enough people throughout the industry that I really have collected a comprehensive compendium, is what I say, or encyclopedia, if you will, of all this knowledge and all this information that successful farmers are using. And I want to, of course, impart that to as many farmers as I can. And I don't care if you have 5 acres or 5,000 acres. I want to help you improve the consistency of your farming operation. So give me a call. You can go on our website here. You see our website address, but feel free to give us a call at 727-324-6750. You can also go ahead and email us at service@harvestharmonics.com. And we would like to talk with you and help you figure out ways that you can become a lot more consistent and a lot more precise in how you're measuring and monitoring your system so that you know that you're improving your farming operation. At the end of the day, I estimate personally that the worldwide agricultural system, just as it is, without adding any more acres or any significant new technology improvements other than our Kiminasi plant booster, can probably boost worldwide production by 20 to 50% over what it's doing right now. Part of that is using tools and technologies like ours. Part of that is just being able to measure and quantify and really get detailed in how you're running your operation so that you're able to produce the maximum yield, maximum quantity and quality as well, with the least amount of inputs and chemicals and other things, which is going to, of course, create more sustainable solutions that will allow you to take care of the soil and take care of the environment, and most importantly, take care of all of us, so we all can eat healthier as well. So hopefully we'll hear from you guys very soon. Give me an email, send me shoot me a phone call. Again, 727-324-6750. You can call that number. We're happy to work with you. If you don't catch us, leave us a voicemail. We'll get back with you. But we want to help every farmer grow more efficient and more healthier food and vegetables for everybody to eat. And I know you guys want to do the same thing. So let's work together and improve your operation and improve the health and quality of food for everybody. Hope to hear from you guys very soon. Have a great weekend.